Republican lawmakers, who of course have eyes and ears and they can see everything horrible happening with the economy right now thanks to Donald Trump, have finally realized that Donald Trump may not be the economic genius that he has claimed to be for so many years. And in fact, multiple different Republicans in the Senate have decided to actively speak out about the economic damage that Donald Trump has done. Now, before I read you the quotes from some of these Republican lawmakers, including Susan Collins and Rand Paul, it is important to note that these, calling out Trump, it's very weak. Okay, in terms of criticizing, his actions, this is about as weak as you get. But they're basically being controlled by Trump, so it's hard for them to speak out. So I actually do give them full credit for these very weak statements they were able to put out, because these are still the strongest statements they could make without Donald Trump personally coming after them or sending Tulsi Gabbard to arrest them. So here is what Susan Collins, Republican senator from Maine, had to say. The Canadian tariffs will definitely have a detrimental impact on the economy of Maine and on border communities in particular. We have, for example, a major paper mill in northern Maine right on the border that gets its pulp from Canada. That mill alone, which is by far the biggest employer in the region, employs 510 people directly. I've talked to the owner of that mill. The imposition of a 25% tariff could be devastating. I think it freezes investment until they know exactly what the impact is going to be. So I understand the president's desire to level the playing field, but Canada's just not the problem in Maine. Okay, again, super weak. I totally get what he's saying, but also you're killing my state, a-hole. Rand Paul had this to say. I have every major industry in Kentucky lobbying me against them. The cargo shippers, the farmers, the bourbon manufacturers, the home builders, the home sellers, you name it, fence manufacturers. The bourbon industry says they're still hurt from the retaliatory tariffs. So do the farmers. Federal government had to pay 20 to 30 billion in the last administration, talking about the first Trump administration, to farmers to mitigate economic impact of tariffs. It shows the fallacy of believing in a policy of tariffs if you immediately have to borrow a bunch of money to give it to the people you've hurt. There need to be Republicans who are still extolling the benefits of international trade. And Rand Paul is 100% right. The thing I love about Rand Paul, and also the thing I hate the most about Rand Paul, is that when he's right, he is dead on 100% right. But when he's wrong, he is more wrong than anybody you've ever heard speak in your life. There's no in between. Rand Paul is either dead 100% right on with everything or absolutely the dumbest person you've ever heard speak. And most of the time, it's the dumbest person thing. But every now and then, like this, he gets it right. Another Republican who requested anonymity, this is a Republican senator, said, people are concerned that we're about to take a hit in the stock market. About to? We're about to take a hit in the stock market? If what happened this week and what happened last week, if that's not already a hit, then I'd hate to see what the hit looks like. What a dumb statement. Maybe if his approvals keep diving and the economy starts to pinch, maybe, but in the meantime, what damage are we doing? Tomorrow he might lift all these sanctions that he just put on yesterday. It's crazy. I agree with you there. And also, by the way, yes, he did announce on Tuesday that, you know what, just for the hell of it, I'm going to put 25% tariffs on aluminum and steel coming from Canada to make the manufacturing of automobiles in the United States more expensive. So you're right about that. Absolutely. Republican Senator Mike Rounds of South Dakota said this. These are really strong Trump supporters. Most of them are saying, we get it. We don't like the idea. You need to talk to them about what tariffs are going to do. They say we get it, but you guys got to tell him how seriously we're concerned about it. And he's, of course, talking about the farmers in South Dakota. They love Trump. They helped put him in office, right? But even they're like, listen, he's killing us. You've got to talk to him. Do this. Susan Collins also said she's being contacted by all these business leaders. Rand Paul mentioned it too. Businesses across the country are freaking out. This is not the stock market righting itself because you had bullish investors in there for too long, and no. This is real businesses run by real people with real families to take care of that are basically wetting their pants in fear. And they're begging these Republicans to do something. So these Republicans tell Politico, I don't like it. Great, grand, wonderful. Tell that to Politico all day long. The problem is telling it to Politico does absolutely nothing. You got to tell the big guy. You got to go tell the man sitting in the White House firing off 200 posts on Truth Social a day. Go catch up with him on the golf course if you can, because he's already spent $17 million on golfing just in the last 2 months alone. So go find him and tell him. He is the only one in control of this. He is unilaterally doing this. On again, off again, on again, off again, telling us maybe we will be in a recession, crashing the stock market. He is doing all of this. Telling it to Politico makes a great story, talking about how much you don't like it and how it's hurting my voters. Great, we get it. But Politico can't change the landscape. I can't change the landscape sitting here talking about it. You guys are literally lawmakers. Like, that's your job. That's your title. Lawmaker. Pass a law. Technically, according to the Wall Street Journal editorial board, Congress could easily pass a law that would prevent Donald Trump from being able to have the authority to do this. Okay? So do it. It really is that simple. It really genuinely is that simple. Now, he's not going to sign it, but then y'all just have to override the veto. And I'm willing to bet you'd be able to get every Democrat to join you on this. So if Trump's not going to unilaterally fix the problem that he unilaterally caused, you guys can do it. You're just too cowardly to do it. And that, of course, makes you complacent in all of this. Thanks for watching today, everybody. And don't forget, if you're not already, please do subscribe to this channel. We have fresh content going up every single day, and I would really hate for you to miss out on that. And speaking of missing out, if you're not following me across all other social media outlets, then get on it. You can follow the links in the description of this video.